"I think you better tell them about Ivelda, Starling," Brigham said. Starling waited while the van rattled over some railroad tracks. "Ivelda will fight you," she said. "She doesn't look like it. She was a model, but she'll fight you. She's Dijon Drumgo's widow. I arrested her twice on RICO warrants, the first time with Dijon. This last time she was carrying a 9mm with 3 magazines and mace in her purse, and she had a balisong knife in her bra. I don't know what she's carrying now. The second arrest, I asked her very politely to give it up, and she did. Then in D.C. detention, she killed an inmate named Marcia Valentine with a spoon shank. So you don't know. Her face is hard to read." Grand jury found self-defense. She beat the first RICO count and pled the other one down. Some weapons charges were dropped because she had infant children, and her husband had just been killed in the Pleasant Avenue drive-by, maybe by the spliffs. I'll ask her to give it up. I hope she will. We'll give her a show. But listen to me. If we have to subdue Ivelda Drumgo, I want some real help. Never mind watching my back. I want some weight on her." There was a time when Starling would have deferred to these men. Now they didn't like what she was saying, and she had seen too much to care. "Ivelda Drumgo is connected through Dijon to the Trainee Crips," Brigham said. "She's got Crips security, our guy says, and the Crips are distributing on the coast. It's security against the spliffs mainly. I don't know what the Crips will do when they see it's us. They don't cross the G if they can help it." "You should know Ivelda's HIV positive," Starling said. "Dijon gave it to her off a needle. She found out in detention and flipped out. If she's not armed and she fights, you can expect to get hit with whatever fluid she has to throw. She'll spit and bite. She'll wet and defecate on you if you try to pat her down. So gloves and masks are SOP. If you put her in a patrol car, when you put your hand on her head, watch out for a needle in her hair, and secure her feet." Burke's and Hare's faces were growing long. Officer Bolton appeared unhappy. He pointed with his wattled chin at Starling's main sidearm, a well-worn .45 Colt pistol with a strip of skateboard tape on the grip, riding in a Yaki slide behind her right hip. "You go around with that thing cocked all the time?" he wanted to know. "Cocked and locked every minute of my day," Starling said. She felt pierced and lonesome in this goat-smelling surveillance van crowded with men. Chaps, brute, Old Spice, sweat, and leather. She felt some fear, and it tasted like a penny under her tongue. Brigham looked out the windshield and checked his watch. "Here's the layout," he said. He had a crude diagram drawn hastily with a magic marker, and a blurry floor plan faxed to him by the Department of Buildings. The fish market building is in a line of stores and warehouses along the riverbank. Beside the fish market on the ground floor, that's Ivelda's lab. Entrance here in front, just beside the fish market awning. Ivelda will have the watchers out while she's cooking the dope, at least 3 blocks around. They've tipped her before in time for her to flush her stuff. So, a regular DEA incursion team in the 3rd van is going in from a fishing boat on the dockside at 1500 hours. We can get closer than anybody in this van, right up to the street door a couple of minutes before the raid. If Ivelda comes out the front, we get her. If she stays in, we hit this street side door right after they hit the other side. 2nd van's our backup, 7 guys. They come in at 1500 unless we call first. "We're doing the door house," Starling said. Burke spoke up. "If it sounds quiet, the ram. If we hear flashbangs or gunfire, it's Avon calling." Burke patted his shotgun. Starling had seen it done before. Avon calling is a 3-inch Magnum shotgun shell loaded with fine powdered lead to blow the lockout without injuring people inside. "Ivelda's kids, where are they?" Starling said. "Our informant saw her drop them off at daycare," Brigham said. Brigham's radio chirped in his earphone, and he searched the part of the sky he could see out the back window. "Maybe he's just doing traffic," he said into his throat microphone. He called to the driver. "Strike 2 saw a news helicopter a minute ago. You seen anything?" "No." "He better be doing traffic. Let's saddle up and button up." Clarice Starling had sewn shoulder pads inside her fatigue shirt to take the weight of the Kevlar vest, hopefully bulletproof. The vest had the additional weight of a ceramic plate in the back, as well as the front. Tragic experience had taught the value of the plate in the back. Conducting a forcible entry raid with a team you do not know, of people with various levels of training, is a dangerous enterprise. Friendly fire can smash your spine as you go in ahead of a green and frightened column. 2 miles from the river, the third van dropped off to take the DEA incursion team to a rendezvous with their fishing boat, and the backup van dropped a discreet distance behind the white undercover vehicle. If Avelda's security was out, it was well concealed among the regulars on the sidewalk. Around the liquor stores and in the grocery parking lots, men sat in cars talking. A lowrider Impala convertible with 4 young African-American men in it pulled into the light traffic and cruised along behind the van. Watching through the one-way glass of the back window, Starling could see the young men in the convertible were not a threat. A Crip gunship is almost always a powerful, full-size sedan or station wagon, old enough to blend into the neighborhood, and the back windows roll all the way down. While they waited at a traffic light, Brigham pulled the cover off the eyepiece of the periscope and tapped Bolton on the knee. "Look around and see if there are any local celebrities on the sidewalk," Brigham said. The objective lens of the periscope is concealed in a roof ventilator. It only sees sideways. Bolton made a full rotation and stopped, rubbing his eyes. "This thing shakes too much with the motor running," he said. Brigham checked by radio with the boat team. 400 meters downstream and closing, he repeated to his crew in the van. The van caught a red light a block away on Parcell Street and sat facing the market for what seemed a long time. The driver turned as though checking his right mirror and talked out of the corner of his mouth to Brigham. "Looks like not many people buying fish. Here we go." The light changed, and at 2:57 p.m., exactly 3 minutes before 0 hour, the battered undercover van stopped in front of the Feliciana Fish Market, in a good spot by the curb. In the back they heard the ratchet as the driver set the handbrake. Brigham relinquished the periscope to Starling. "Check it out." Starling swept the periscope across the front of the building. Tables and counters of fish on ice glittered beneath a canvas awning on the pavement. Sunlight made a rainbow in the spray of water from the fish-cleaning table outside, where a Latin-looking man with big forearms cut up a mako shark with graceful strokes of his curved knife and hosed the big fish down with a powerful handheld spray. The bloody water ran down the gutter. A boombox in the market was playing La Macarena loud enough for Starling to hear it clearly in the van. She would never again in her life be able to endure the song. The door that mattered was on the right, a double metal door in a metal casement with a single concrete step. Starling was about to give up the periscope when the door opened. A large white man in a luau shirt and sandals came out. He had a satchel across his chest. His other hand was behind the satchel. A wiry black man came out behind him carrying a raincoat. "Heads up," Starling said. Behind the 2 men, with her long Nefertiti neck and handsome face visible over their shoulders, came Ivelda Drumgo. "Avelda's coming out behind 2 guys. Looks like they're both packing," Starling said. Brigham was on the radio. "Strike 1 to all units. Showdown. She's out this side. We're moving. Put 'em on the ground as quietly as we can," Brigham said. He racked the slide on his riot gun. "Boat's here in 30 seconds. Let's do it." Starling first out on the ground, Ivelda's braids flying out as her head spun toward her. Starling, conscious of the men beside her, guns out, barking, "Down on the ground! Down on the ground!" Ivelda stepping out from between the 2 men. Ivelda was carrying a baby in a carrier slung around her neck. Wait, don't want any trouble," she said to the men beside her. She strode forward, posture regal, holding the baby high in front of her at the extent of the sling, blanket hanging down. Give her a place to go, Starling thought. She holstered her weapon by touch, extended her arms, hands open. "Ivelda, give it up. Come to me." Behind Starling, the roar of a big V8 and squeal of tires. She couldn't turn around. Be the backup, she thought. Ivelda ignoring her, walking toward Brigham. The baby blanket fluttered as the MAC-10 went off behind it, and Brigham went down, his face shield full of blood. The heavy white man dropped the satchel. Burke saw his machine pistol and fired a puff of harmless lead dust from the Avon round in his shotgun. He racked the slide, but not in time. The big man fired a burst, cutting Burke across the groin beneath his vest, swinging toward Starling as she came up from the leather and shot him twice.